Valentine!
Time to operate. I'll cut you down to size.
Showtime!
You wish. Don't make me laugh.
Oh, battery.
I'll patch it right up. Brain drain, he'll have to do better than that.
Valentine!
Time to operate. Brain drain, I have enough to deal with right now.
Showtime!
Don't
Valentine!
Time to operate. Want a bandage? Going down. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
Squiggly!
Don't make me laugh.
Tally-ho! Everybody stop this fighting machine!
Lost the will to live.
Huzzah! Showtime!
Pass. Give up nothing. Pass. Bottoms up. Watch yourself.
Overwhelming victory!
Thanks, love.
Eliza!
Let's dance, darling. Darling, you are not ready for what you are about to face.
Showtime!
Jerry, go,
Carry on.
Running wild!
Keep young and
Squiggly!
ready.
Tally-ho!
You fool.
Showtime!
That is wrong.
Reach up!
You wish. I've seen worse. Don't even try. No place to run. Don't even try. I've seen worse. Don't even try.
Eliza!
Let's dance, darling.
Peacock!
Finally!
Are you blessed by towers or a scalpel?
Showtime!
Ripped off. I'll cut you down.
Hey-o! Running wild!
Elvis. Snap a rock. Cruising by.
Valentine!
Time to operate.
Now you're cooking with
Everything I
gas.
say is a catchphrase.
Philia!
Let's go, Samson!
Hell yeah! Valentine!
Time to
Roll
operate.
fortune.
Beep boop meow.
Philia!
Let's go, Samson!
Hell yeah! Eliza!
Let's dance, darling.
Valentine!
Time to operate. This may sting a bit.
Showtime!
I've seen worse. Don't even try.
It's nothing!
Going down. Just hold it. Just a pleasure. Just a button. Going
Misfortune! Parasol!
Eager, get ready.
Nothing.
Umbrella!
Took you long enough to pick me.
Annie!
What?
Now you're playing it out.
Cells shall betray you.
Can I have a cheeseburger?
Showtime! Running wild! Running wild!
Chrono Trigger, a Super Nintendo RPG released in 1995, considered by many to be one of the greatest video games of all time. Read any best RPG ever list and Chrono Trigger is always there, usually taking the top spot. So in this video, I'm going to replay a game considered one of the greatest video games of all time and find problems with it. So grab a cup of tea and settle in, because we're about to go on a time-traveling journey from prehistory to the end of time itself. Created by a dream team of RPG experts, including the creators of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, the original artist from Dragon Ball, and musicians still working on major RPGs to this day, Chrono Trigger features mechanics way ahead of its time. Mechanics people still rave about today. You know the old joke about how JRPGs start with you saving a cat and end with you killing a god? Chrono Trigger is partly responsible for that saying. People praised Zelda Breath of the Wild for its open-world nature and the ability to fight Ganon whenever you felt ready. Well, Chrono Trigger not only let you take on the final boss whenever you like, but also has 14 different endings depending on when and how you do this. Remember the buggy in the airship from Final Fantasy VII which opened up the overworld and it to explore hidden continents? Well, Chrono Trigger had that mechanic 2 years earlier. The time travel from Ocarina of Time, having 2 different versions of the overworld. How about 6 different time periods of the same world, from every history to the far future. Even Dark Souls and Elden Ring followed in Chrono Trigger's footsteps with hidden side quests for each playable character unlocking their ultimate weapons, completely missable areas, and the ability to kill vital NPCs and make your playthrough harder. And while not the first game to have loop and replayable game modes, Chrono Trigger did allow you to take earned power from one playthrough into the next, and was the first game to use the term New Game Plus. Add to all this a heartfelt story about our search for meaning, overcoming childhood flaws, the allure of unlimited power, and the destructive desire for vengeance. All held together with a battle system still to this day considered a gold standard in gaming, and you've got one hell of an RPG. But games have advanced a lot since 1995, and the nostalgia goggles are thick and heavily tinted. And while many people know Chrono Trigger from those best RPG ever lists, not that many people have actually finished the entire game. So are we just collectively agreeing something is good because other people have told us it's good? Maybe we need specific examples of why it does or does not hold up today. So I've gone back and replayed it all. Every ending, every secret character, every hidden side quest, and with that complete replay, we can now answer the question, Chrono Trigger, was it actually any good? As always, a massive thank you to the supporters on Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube whose support allows me to make long-form, in-depth videos like this. More information on how you can support to the end. For now, let's begin. Flashing light warning. Several of the high-level magical spells flash the screen with flickers of white light. I'll mention these before they happen. First off, a quick note on pixel and sprite graphics, and I touched on this phenomenon in the Castlevania video, but it's worth repeating. If you played Chrono Trigger as a kid, the gameplay on screen now probably looks sharper than you remember, and this is both a blessing and a curse. Chrono Trigger released in 1995 for the SNES, and so was played on CRT monitors. Now, with sprite and pixel art, a CRT monitor actually slightly diffuses each pixel, and the colours bleed together, giving a more blended, softer image. Here's an example with Dracula's face from Castlevania. Notice how on a modern monitor, the single red pixel of the eye is defined and harsh. It almost seems out of place, while on an old monitor, that red pixel would diffuse a red tint across its neighbours and so give a soft glow effect. The same is true with waterfalls. Here's an example from Mega Man, and with depth added through implied shadows. Here's some 80s dungeon crawler images on both CRT and LCD screens. The soft blend effect of a CRT monitor actually means your mind has to fill in the blanks, and this creates both gentler curves and greater depth. So if what I'm playing doesn't look quite like what you remember, that's why. So while Chrono Trigger released in 1995, it's been re-released multiple times on the PlayStation 1 in 1999, the Nintendo DS in 2008, for both iOS and Android in 2011, and on Steam in 2018, where it's still available. The latter releases even contain bonus content like extra dungeons and more side quests and fully animated transition sequences. It went on to see a sequel called Radical Dreamers in 1996, which was a Japanese text-based game which ties into a side plot, and then Chrono Cross released on the PlayStation in 1999, which itself cannibalized much of Radical Dreamers and so became the only canon sequel. A third game named Chrono Break was rumored for a while but ultimately dropped in 2003. So for this review, I'm staying classic and we'll be playing the SNES version. First off, Chrono Trigger is far shorter than most people realise. I finished the complete main storyline and all 7 extra character stories in around 20 hours. The length of the game really comes from finding all 14 additional endings, but it's entirely possible if you're only focusing on the main plot to finish Chrono Trigger in a long, focused weekend. So let's play. The Swinging Pendulum is an iconic opening that sets the theme of time, and the first choice we make is battle mode, active or wait, and I'll explain the differences when we look at combat later. Now we name our main character, and I'll be keeping all the names as suggested, but important to note the main character is called Chrono, not Chrono. This isn't just because of the 5-letter naming limitation of the SNES, it's also because the story of Chrono Trigger isn't actually about Chrono as a character, it's about everyone else. And interesting fact, Chrono, just like Link from The Legend of Zelda, is a left-handed silent protagonist. In fact, his only dialogue is found in a hidden ending that I will show you later. Chrono's name is a reference to Kronos. Not Cronus, the youngest of the Titans in Greek mythology, but Cronus, the personification of time in pre-Socratic philosophy. So we open with Chrono oversleeping with his mum opening the curtains to a glorious sunny day. It's the year 1000 AD, and the joyful ringing of Lean's bell can be heard, and they're celebrating with the Millennial Fair. Gameplay is top-down with 8